Think about the last time you pushed something down, a gut feeling, a quiet alarm going off inside you. You felt it in your chest before you could name it, and you didn't ignore it because you were stupid. You didn't ignore it because you were weak. You ignored it because some part of you wasn't ready for what it meant. Welcome back to Inner Echoes Collective. If you're new here, I'm glad you found this space because today we're going somewhere most people avoid. Not why you missed the signs. You didn't miss them, you felt them. The real question is why you talked yourself out of what you already knew. And until you understand that, you won't just repeat the pattern once. You'll repeat it with different faces in different places until something finally breaks open. Section 1. It felt like home, not a warning. Here's something nobody tells you about red flags. They don't always feel like danger. Sometimes they feel like something you recognize. And what's familiar feels like comfort, even when it's slowly costing you. Think about someone who grew up in a home where love came with conditions, where silence after an argument was just normal, where emotional distance wasn't a problem to fix, it was just how things were. Now that person meets someone new, and that someone pulls away after every disagreement, goes cold without warning, keeps them at arm's length. Their gut tightens, but their mind says, this feels like something I know. And that recognition is where the pattern quietly begins again. Because the nervous system doesn't ask if something is healthy, it asks if it's familiar. Section 2. You weren't in love with them. You were in love with the version of them you believed in. This is the one that's hard to hear. You weren't holding on to who they were. You were holding on to who they could be. You saw glimpses of it, moments where they showed up fully, moments where it felt real, where it felt like this is who they actually are. And you held on to those moments like they were proof, like they canceled out everything else. So when a red flag appeared, you didn't look away because you were in denial. You looked away because it didn't match the story you needed to be true. You weren't in ignoring reality. You were protecting a possibility. And here's what makes that so painful to admit. Possibility never has to show up. It just has to feel close. Close enough to keep you waiting. Close enough to keep you explaining away what you felt. And somewhere in all that waiting, your intuition started going quiet. Not because it was wrong, because you kept telling it to sit down. Intuition doesn't get louder when you ignore it. It gets quieter. Section 3. You were slowly renegotiating your own worth. Here's what no one tells you about being the patient one, the understanding one, the one who always gives another chance. You weren't just tolerating them, you were quietly renegotiating your own worth. Every time you said, it's not that bad, every time you said, they're just going through something, every time you said, I don't want to overreact, you moved the line a little further from yourself each time. And you didn't do it because you didn't have standards. You did it because somewhere along the way, you learned that love meant being endlessly understanding, that being a good partner meant absorbing what hurt, that leaving or speaking up or holding a line meant you weren't patient enough, weren't loving enough, weren't enough. But there's a difference between patience and self abandonment. And it's a line that gets blurry when you've been crossing it for a long time. Section 4, the real reason you didn't trust what you felt. This is the layer beneath all the others. The reason you second guessed yourself, looked for more proof, waited for something undeniable before you let yourself react. It's not that you didn't have good judgment, it's that you learned not to trust it. Maybe someone in your past made you feel like your instincts were too much, too sensitive, too reactive, too dramatic. So you learned to outsource your certainty, to wait for permission from outside yourself before you trusted what you felt on the inside. And that habit followed you right into the relationship. Every time something felt off, you waited, you watched, you gave it more time because trusting yourself fully felt riskier than hoping you were wrong. Section 5, two shifts that actually change things. So, how does this actually change? Not in theory, in real life, in real time. It starts with two shifts, not five steps, not a checklist. Two shifts in the way you see. The first one, stop asking, but what if it gets better? And start asking, what has this actually been? Not what you hope it will be, not what it looks like in the best moments. What has it consistently been? Patterns don't lie, potential does. The second shift is harder. Choose yourself before the ending writes itself, not after you're exhausted, not after you've lost pieces of yourself trying to make it work. In the moment something feels off, the moment your gut tightens and your mind starts making excuses, that moment is not confusion. That moment is clarity. And the more you honor it in real time, the less you'll need someone else to confirm what you already know. If you've ignored red flags before, you're not broken. You were choosing from what felt familiar, from what felt possible, from what felt like love, even when it wasn't loving you back. But now you know what was underneath it. And knowing that changes things, not all at once, but quietly, steadily. It changes things. The relationship that's right for you won't ask you to go silent inside yourself to keep it. You've always known that. Now let yourself act like it. Collective, if you're still with me. Grab a pen and paper if you don't already have one. I'm going to give you 5 steps on how to stop ignoring red flags. I will also leave them in the description for you. Let's get into it. Step one, separate feelings from facts. Just because you feel connected doesn't mean it's healthy. Ask yourself, what are they consistently showing me? Step two, believe patterns, not promises. Anyone can say the right thing, but patterns don't lie. Step three, stop romanticizing potential. Potential is not reality, and relationships are built on what is, not what could be. Step four, honor discomfort. Early, if something feels off in the beginning, pay attention because early discomfort is often clarity. Step five, choose yourself in real time, not after it falls apart, not after you're hurt in the moment. If this spoke to you in any way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps this message reach the people who need it most. Thank you for tuning in, for clicking on this video, and for taking this time for yourself. That alone matters more than you think. If you're new here, I encourage you to go back and watch the previous video. Start from the beginning of this journey so everything connects deeper for you. And for those of you who've been following along, you already know we're not stopping here. Let's head into the next video and keep growing together. Stay blessed. God bless you always. Inner Echoes Collective.